Hello friends, I am Professor Jagruti Patel from JP Sroff Arts College, Valsad. Today we are going to talk about the form of comedy. As you all know very well that your textbook English Literature by R.J. Rees is based upon different forms of literature. So here we are going to talk about comedy. So when we speak the word comedy or when we refer to the term comedy, what do we mean by the word comedy? The first question arises is this: what do we mean by comedy? Now, for all of us, when we say comedy, a comic movie, or that we have seen a comic drama, we know very well that what actually do we mean. But when it comes to define the term comedy, it becomes a bit difficult for us to put it in words. So, to begin with the definition of comedy and to have a very general definition of the term, comedy means anything which is funny or which is laughable. So, something which makes you laugh or something which is funny. You call that drama or that poem or that novel comedy. So, this is a very general definition of the term comedy. But if we think about the serious definition, that is, if we think about the term comedy in the serious sense, it includes many other things. Comedy only doesn't mean something which makes you laugh. You also can add some other characteristics in order to define the term comedy. For example, comedy also means comic characters. Comedy also means comic incidents. Comedy also means comic events, pleasant atmosphere, and most importantly, happy ending. So, a play can only be a comedy if it has comic characters, comic events, comic atmosphere, and at the same time happy ending. If a drama doesn't end with a happy ending, it cannot be called a comedy. One more thing that R.J. Rees here discusses is this, that whenever we think of the term comedy, we think of the term comedy in context to drama only. So when we say that I read a comedy or that I watched a comedy, what we believe that we have watched a comic drama or that we have read a comic a play. So we never think of a comedy in poetry or comedy in a novel. So here the writer tries to include these two topics, that comedy always doesn't mean comic drama. It also can be comic poetry. It also can be comic novel. So there are examples of comic novels and comic poetry. For example, if you think of Geoffrey Chaucer and his prologue to Canterbury Tales, you will see that the prologue is so beautifully written that and how that Chaucer has made fun of the 29 members who are going for a pilgrimage. So that poem can be called comic poem. Likewise, some of Dickens' novels also can be called comic novels. So comedy can be, that is, the term comedy can be used in these three senses. It can be comic drama, comic poetry, and also comic novel. Now, before we begin with from where actually that the term comedy comes, or from where actually is the root of comedy, in that sense, we first will have to discuss the theory of laughter. Before we begin with the root of comedy, we have to think of the theory of laughter. Now, if we think of this theory, the first question that arises before us is, why do we laugh at all? That what makes us laugh? What actually is the reason when we laugh? Now, there are certain characters in our society, there are certain situations in our day to day life which make us laugh. With drama by Roman dramatist Terence Hakira, which itself means mothers in law. Now, we all know very well that mothers in law are most of the times figures of fun, and that as and when these characters are referred in either a novel or a drama, they are most of the times figures of fun. So, with such characters, for example, if an old husband going with a young beautiful wife, the couple becomes a figure of fun. So, when we see such people, we start laughing. Not only that, we sometimes laugh even at the person who has physically abnormal. That is, for example, when we watch or when we see a person who has a physical defect, let us say in his leg, and if he can't walk properly, we generally don't laugh at such people. But let me tell you that there was a fashion in England during those days to visit the Bethlehem hospital in order to see and enjoy the behavior of the lunatics there. So, though laughter sometimes can be cruel, but in order to laugh at somebody, one has to be a bit cruel. In this sense, small children can be very cruel sometimes. It is because they are small and maybe they do not understand the seriousness of life. So they are very innocent about laughing at others. But still, we laugh at people because sometimes even we feel that we are luckier than those people, that we feel that we don't have that problem. For example, when we laugh at a fat woman, why do we laugh at a fat woman? It is because we feel that we are not as fat as she is. So we are in a better condition in comparison to that fat woman. So in that sense, we laugh at a fat woman because that we feel that we don't have that problem, and that in that sense we are luckier than her. So laughter in that sense is cruel. One more thing, that this is what is the purpose of comedy. When it makes us laugh, what actually it is doing, that it is giving us an outlet. We all are having these feelings of bitterness in all of us, cruelty, jealousy, all these feelings are very much there in all of us. What we need is an outlet for these feelings. So, comedy provides us with this kind of outlet where we can exercise whatever cruelty is there in us on those imaginary objects and can feel released or relieved. So, this is what is the purpose of comedy, that it provides us with imaginary objects on which we can exercise our cruelty. So, in this sense, the term catharsis, which is actually used for tragedy, which is referred for in context to the term tragedy. This term catharsis, which is given by Aristotle, can also be applied to comedy. It as we get purgated after watching tragedy, we feel relieved after exercising the feelings of pity and fear on the tragic characters in a tragedy. Likewise, in a comedy, we exercise our cruelty, our bitterness on the imaginary characters provided by the comedy, and that's how we feel relieved. So, in this sense, we can apply the term catharsis to comedy also. Another thing that Argyris talks about here is to laugh at somebody and to laugh with somebody. There is a difference between these two phrases, to laugh at somebody and to laugh with somebody. For example, when we laugh at somebody, there is every possibility that the person at whom we are laughing may feel bad. But when we laugh with somebody, It means that the person with whom we are laughing, he or she is also enjoying that, or he or she wants us to laugh at him or her. For example, if I give you a very recent example of Hindi movies, when we laugh at Johnny Lever, for example, we don't actually laugh at him. We laugh at him, at the same time we laugh with him. It is because this is what is his purpose. This is what is his purpose, to make us laugh. And so when we laugh at Johnny Lever, we are laughing with him. But if we laugh at a particular person in our society, at that time it is laughing at somebody which is something not good. So this is the difference Argyris discusses about laughing at somebody and laughing with somebody. This is something about the theory of laughter. Now if we think about the history of comedy, or let us say the origin of comedy, we must have to think about from where actually that the term comedy has come, or from when that it has started, who started writing comedies, who started performing comedies. Now if we think about the historical background, comedy comes from what is called satyr plays or comos. Now satyr plays actually were the plays which were showed after the Greek tragedy. Now after the tragic trilogy, when the audience gets completely tired, to provide them with a kind of comic relief, that such satyr plays were showed on the stage. Now these plays were actually very short plays, full of comic characters and incidents, and they are specially made and showed and performed on the stage to relieve the audience who has seen the tragedy continuously for the whole day. So there lies, in those satyr plays lie the origin of comedy. One more thing, that the origin of comedy also can be found in the medieval mystery and miracle plays. Now in medieval time, these kinds of plays, mystery and miracle plays, were performed. Now if we talk about mystery and miracle plays, these plays were basically religious plays. Why? Because these plays were based upon the stories taken from Bible. So they were based upon, you can say, biblical stories. And so the themes of these plays were either the birth of Adam and Eve, or beginning from the birth of Adam and Eve to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. It also includes the birth of Jesus Christ and how that he was tortured and how that he was crucified at the end. So mystery and miracle plays were basically religious plays. Now the question arises before us is this, that if mystery and miracle plays were basically religious plays, how can comedy had its origin in mystery and miracle plays? Now these mystery and miracle plays, though they were based upon religious themes, that in these dramas also, that certain comic characters or certain comic scenes were added, what you call stuffed into it. Actually these dramas earlier, because at that time there was no latest camera and cinematography at that time, so these dramas, that is mystery and miracle plays, were performed on large wagons. Now these wagons used to go from one place to other, one village to other, and every village had a point or a particular station where these wagons used to stop. The villagers could come to that station and can enjoy the whole drama at that time, at that particular station. Now these wagons also represent three layers, representing heaven, hell and earth. So the people who wanted to enjoy drama, they didn't have to go out anywhere to see the drama. Instead, these wagons, they used to go from one place to other in order to perform dramas and in order to entertain people. Now four cycles which today also perform such comic or such mystery and miracle plays are existing, and they are Chester, Coventry, York and Wakefield. So these are the four cycles still performing mystery and miracle plays. Now as I said, that though mystery and miracle plays, they were basically religious plays, that comic characters and incidents were added into it in order to provide some kind of comedy to the audience. Now there lies our origin of comedy. If you see the Gothic cathedral, let us say, there also you will see that the statues, for example the statues of a king and queen, you can find the statues of fishwives or gossips or that is clowns. So you can find this mixture of these two things, comedy and religion. On one hand, there are statues of saints. On the other, there are statues of what you call clowns and fools. So even in Gothic cathedral, you will find the mixture of comedy and religion, the same mixture that we find in mystery and miracle plays. So as I said, that those four cycles which today also perform these dramas, one of the examples is the cycle called York, which today also presents the drama called Noah's flood. Now in this drama, though as I said that this is a mystery play and based upon biblical story, so naturally this drama is a religious drama, but how that comedy is added into it, that this drama is a religious drama, but in one of the scenes in the drama that you have a comic incident. What happened, that Noah, there was a flood in their village, and all the villagers were leaving the village terrified by the rising water. Now Noah the hero, he also prepared his boat. He and his son climbed up the boat, and they were calling Noah's wife. Now Noah's wife was busy gossiping with other fishwives. She didn't want to leave her gossip and climb up the boat. In spite of a lot of calls from her sons, she didn't want to leave her gossip. Now at last, when she left her friends and was about to climb the boat, at that time Noah, the husband, gave him her hand, telling that, "Welcome, wife." Now on this dialogue of her husband, the wife gave a smart blow on the cheek of her husband, telling him that, "Take this, as you have disturbed me while I was gossiping." So this particular incident makes us laugh. So as I said, that how religion and comedy, both these things are mixed up in mystery and miracle plays. Likewise, in another Wakefield cycles play, a shepherd's play, in this drama also you will see that it is based upon the birth of Jesus Christ. Now there is a group of shepherds, they were going to visit the village where Jesus Christ is going to take birth. Now on their way to Bethlehem, they wanted to rest. So they rested at Mac's cottage. Mac was one of the shepherds. Now what happened? Mac had stolen one of the sheep of those shepherds. Now those shepherds were looking for that one sheep. They couldn't find that sheep. So as they were resting at Mac's cottage, they noticed that Mac's wife was praising her newly born child in a cradle. So just out of sheer curiosity, that all the shepherds went to see the child in the cradle. To their surprise, there was no child actually in the cradle but the stolen sheep. So this is how they caught Mac, and they beat him and threw him into the manger. So this is how comic incidents and characters are added into these basically religious dramas called mystery and miracle plays, where, as I said, lie our the origin of a real comedy. Now, not only that only such incidents are added. There were certain characters who were inseparable part of these mystery and miracle plays, and they are King Herod, Vice, and Devil. Now, King Herod is a character which is this character is showed as a comically angry tyrant. The meaning is that you will find him every now and then getting angry without reason. So because that he keeps on getting angry without any reason, that this particular character King Herod makes us laugh. Then comes the character of Devil. Now this character is in habit of wearing ugly mask, and he also is having long fingernails. So the very appearance of the devil makes you laugh, as he wears ugly mask and tries to make you laugh. The most laughable character among these three is Vice. Now this Vice is a lesser kind of devil, and he is given a wooden sword. And with this wooden sword, he keeps on dancing around devil as if he is threatening devil. So this is how all the three characters, King Herod, Vice, and Devil, though they are minor characters, not very important characters, and as I said that these comic characters are stuffed into these religious dramas, but still how that they provide us with comedy, they provide us with laughter. So these three characters are very, very famous so far as characters of mystery and miracle plays, comic characters of mystery and miracle plays are concerned. So you can say that this is how our comedy emerges from mystery and miracle plays, from such comic characters which are introduced in the mystery and miracle plays, and from such comic events and incidents which were very much there in mystery and miracle plays. Now even if you see, for example, some of the Shakespearean comedies, you will find the characters of Devil and Vice in Shakespearean comedy. It may be because Shakespeare also following this rule is that he wants to provide us with better comedy. Now this is about the history of comedy, or what we call origin of comedy, how that comedy comes into existence. Now as I said, it may be satyr plays which were showed at the end of a tragic trilogy, or maybe commerce. Commerce itself means characters who perform on the stage wearing ugly masks, and sometimes they half of the body of these characters are made of human beings, while half of the body was made of animal. So by using such devices, that comedy was created, comedy was stuffed in religious dramas. So actually speaking, the comic drama or comedy was not at all very famous during those days, because Greeks, they believed that comedy is a kind of form of literature which are not meant for educated people. So they consider comedy as very lowly kind of a form of literature. But later, with Shakespeare and with some of the very famous comedies by Shakespeare, that it became very famous among people, and nowadays that people enjoy comedy more than tragedy. Not only that, there are it's not only about comedy. You can divide the you can think of the term comedy in different senses. For example, the term comedy can be divided into different types of comedy, but that comedy, it remains the same. There may be different types of comedy, but its origin remains the same. You even can see the Roman dramatist who had years ago started writing comedies, who had started showing and explaining, establishing certain comic characters in his drama. And the very good example is this Hacky, as I said, and how that he had made fun of mothers-in-law in comedies. So from that time, that is from the time of Terence, that we can see comic characters and incidents being there, very much there in even tragedy. So this is how we can see that mystery and miracle plays, which are considered as the origin of comedy, and how that these dramas, though they were religious drama, and that how they used to provide comic relief to the audience. If it had been completely about religion, there is every possibility that the audience may not like it to watch for the whole day. But because that, like Noah's flood and this like Shepherd's play, and how that the character of Mac, how that those characters of shepherds, and how the character of Noah's wife, that they provide us with laughter. It is so very symbolic that you can see such a mixture even in the old cathedral, the Gothic cathedral of those times. That there also you will find that these things, comic statues of comic characters, and on the other hand statues of religious people, saints, and statues of aristocratic educated people are put side by side in order to suggest that there is always this mixture of comedy and religion, and how that it provides us with laughter, and how that comedy emerges from these basically religious dramas called mystery and miracle plays. Though that these dramas, that they were religious dramas, that as when we prepare certain food dishes, and how that we stuff spices into, we add spices into it in order to make it more delicious. Likewise, a comedy, or let us say comic characters and incidents were added or stuffed, what you call farcical characters or farcical incidents. They were added or stuffed into these what you call religious dramas, which were based upon the stories of Bible. Let us say the birth of Adam and Eve, that is, it begins with the birth of Adam and Eve, and how that Eve was tempted to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge, and how then there was a fall of Adam and Eve, and how after that Satan got victory, and Jesus Christ took birth, and what happened to him throughout his life. Now all these things are very very beautifully showed in these basically religious dramas. But then comedy always is a part of these dramas. So this is what I want to say, that how comic characters are added in mystery and miracle plays. And as I have said, that those three characters which are inseparable part of mystery and miracle plays, and again and again I am telling that this is very important for you all, as you may have a short note on let us say mystery and miracle plays, or you may have a short question upon let us say these the comic characters of mystery and miracle plays. When you write about those three characters of mystery and miracle plays, let us say King Herod, devil, and Vice. Now these three characters, that how that they provide with laughter, that what do they do in order to make you laugh. Now that's I said that how this King Herod is showed as unnecessarily angry a person, and how that without any reason that unnecessarily he gets angry, he shouts on people, and how that he makes his character a comic character. In the same way, Vice and devil, both of them, that in order to provide you with laughter, then in order to make the audience laugh, that they also dance wearing ugly mask. Not only that, the devil he had long fingernails, so showing his fingernails, that he keeps on threatening the audience. And it will be very amusing to see Vice dancing around the devil. Of course Vice is a devilish character, but that how he makes us laugh, that wearing ugly clothes and ugly masks, and with a very funny kind of wooden sword, that he keeps on taking rounds of the devil, as if he is threatening the devil, and as if that he is even threatening the audience. Actually all these things seem very funny and comic. This is the purpose for why that such characters are added in mystery and miracle plays, so as to make us laugh. And this is how that we can get free from whatever cruel feelings or whatever bitter feelings are there in us. So that is how you even can, that as I said earlier, that you can apply the term catharsis here, that we can get purgated, we can get released from the feelings of cruelty, bitterness, which is always there in us. Actually in our day to day life, that we don't get enough chances to exercise our cruelty. For example, when we laugh at a person who is having physical defect in him, you know very well that the person will feel bad. So when we laugh at him, we have to think about our own moral sense. We feel guilty when we laugh at others. So then what will happen to that cruelty which is actually there in us? Every feeling in us must need an outlet. So comedy, when we see a comedy, what we do without insulting our own self, without feeling guilty for ourselves, without that we feel that our conscience bites us, that we can easily laugh at those characters, because we know very well that these characters are there on the stage to make us laugh, that the purpose of these characters is to make us laugh. Not only that, that these characters are imaginary characters, and so that we can exercise cruelty, whatever cruel feelings we may be having in us, that we can show it, we can without any hesitation, without thinking about our own morality, without feeling guilty, that we can laugh at these characters, these imaginary characters, and in this way that we feel relieved. We feel relieved, we feel that okay, whatever bad feelings were there in us, that we have got released from those feelings by showing or by laughing at those imaginary characters, which in actual what you call day to day life we are unable to do so, that we are unable to laugh at an old man going with a young beautiful wife. We cannot laugh at our own friend who is being cheated by his young beautiful wife, or maybe because that his wife is in love with some another young man. But if it happens in a drama or in a play or in a movie, let us say, we can very easily laugh at them. So this is what Shakespeare says, that if you can't laugh at those real people, you can laugh at those imaginary characters. That's what they can say, that one of the characters called Mr. Dodder. So he is an imaginary character. When this old man, Mr. Dodder, when he is deceived by his young wife, who is naturally young and beautiful, and she is having affair with a young journalist. So when we see that young beautiful wife cheating or deceiving her own husband on the screen or on the stage, at that time we can easily laugh at them without any hesitation. If it happens in real life, if it happens with one of our neighbors, we cannot do so. Instead, we may feel pity. One more thing is that those certain characters in our society, that they are comic characters, or that they are always figures of fun. As I said, old man going with a young wife, or a husband being cheated by his beautiful wife, or mothers-in-law, or very fat women. All these are the figures of fun. But there is every possibility that they may be very good people in reality, that there is every possibility that you may feel bad when you laugh at them, because you know very well that actually these people are very good by heart, that these people are very good by nature. So this is what is the problem when we laugh in real life at other people. While in comedy, or when we see a comedy drama or anything on the stage, at that time we don't feel such hesitation, we don't feel even guilty. It is because we know very well that these all are imaginary characters. And that's what happened even in comic serials or comic movies, that when we laugh at comic characters, those characters are there, they are behaving, acting like that in order to make us laugh, so that they don't feel bad when we laugh at them. While if it happens in real life, there is you know very well that people will feel bad. So when we laugh at these imaginary characters, what we are doing, that it's not only that we are laughing at them, because those characters are also enjoying laughing with us, because they are there, this is what is their purpose, to make us laugh. So that's what comedy provides us, that it provides us, it gives us an outlet, it gives us It presents before us certain imaginary characters and incidents on which you can laugh easily. You cannot, that is without feeling guilty, you can laugh at them, and you can be free from the feelings of cruelty, the feelings of bitterness, the feelings of jealousy in you. If it happens in real life that whenever we laugh at other people, we think that we are luckier. But if we behave in this way in our real life, this will look quite bad, that it can affect the feelings of other person also. But it doesn't happen in a comedy. So this is what you call the essence of theory of laughter, that when you laugh at an imaginary character, it is not going to feel bad, while when you laugh at a real person, you also will feel guilty. So this is what, or this is how the term catharsis can be applied to comedy. Not only that, this is how a comedy provides you with certain characters on which that you can exercise your cruelty, and that too without feeling guilty. So there is every possibility that when even small children laugh at a blind person, let us say, we feel that this is not good, that this is bad, that one should not laugh at a blind person. But the same thing happens in one of Shakespeare's drama, where Shakespeare makes us laugh at the blindness of old Gobbo. Now when these blind character makes a certain mistakes, we can heartily laugh at him. It is because that it is an imaginary characters, and that we can easily laugh at them without harming our own moral sense. And this is what the purpose, that even in Chaucer's Miller tale, if you see, you can laugh at an old man or old husband who has been deceived by his wife. Now in this, what happened in The Merchant of Venice, where Shakespeare makes us laugh at the blindness of one of the characters called old Gobbo, which we cannot do in our day-to-day actual real life. So how that in these dramas, that the writers, they provide us with such characters on whose even on physical defect that we can laugh. And that's what was the fashion among the English people, that how they used to go to visit Bethlehem Hospital just to have entertainment, just to see that how lunatics or mad people, how oddly or in what strange manner that they behave in there. So they are in habit of peeping from the windows and walls of Bethlehem Hospital in order to watch the odd behavior of lunatics there, and thereby making fun of them and enjoying themselves. So this was very much in fashion during those days. So though we are unable to laugh at certain characters in reality, certain people in reality, but if those characters and those people appear in the same way on the stage or on the screen, that it becomes very easy for us to laugh at them. As I said, that how in Chaucer's Miller's Tale, when the husband is deceived by his young wife. Not only that, even there is a correct character called Wife of Bath, which is quite a laughable character. If such a woman like wife of Bath is there in our society in reality, it won't be possible for us to laugh heartily on her. So this is about laughing, or why that, what makes us laugh, or why do we laugh at all. Then of course we have started talking about even the origin of comedy. There we talked about setter plays, commerce, we talked about mystery and miracle plays, beginning with mystery and miracle plays, and how that comic characters and comic incidents were added into these religious dramas. And later which are those three comic characters which are inseparable part of these mystery and miracle plays. And as I gave you the list, that these characters in mystery and miracle plays who are, as I said, King Herod and devil and vice. Now if you think of Twelfth Night, you will say feste and clown, sing, and when you will read those things, you will find that this is all very nonsense. But the same part is being played even by Vice in this Twelfth Night in the form of Feste the clown. That how he, like the character of Vice, that how he runs around threatening others with a wooden sword, wearing ugly mask, dancing a very ugly dance, and singing a very funny kind of a song. So it's not only about the medieval period, that also can be seen in Shakespearean dramas, Shakespearean comedies, even the poems of Chaucer, and in some of the novels of Dickens. As for example, how that Chaucer makes fun of a husband having many wives in the Miller's Tale. Not only that, how that he makes fun of the physician, the doctor, in his prologue to Canterbury Tales. So by presenting such comic characters in his poems, Chaucer wants to show that comedy always doesn't mean a drama. Comedy always doesn't mean a drama. It can be a comic poetry. So if you read from the beginning, let us say from the prologue to even the Canterbury Tales, the way the characters are presented by Chaucer in the prologue, and the way he tells those stories told by those pilgrimages, that how those pilgrims, that how that he adds, actually there also you will see that the theme is religious theme, because that the pilgrims are going for a pilgrimage, that they are going to visit a holy place, and how they happen to meet each other, they form a group, and that Chaucer, that he presents those characters who were a part of that group. There was a knight, there was a physician, there was a miller, there was a partner, there was a nun. So these characters are they are showed in such a way in order to provide fun to you, fun to the audience, fun to the reader. So how that Chaucer also during 13th 14th century, that he also had in his poems added such comic characters in order to make the reader laugh. So at that time also that you can see the same thing, the mixture of comedy and religion, that how these characters, those pilgrims who went for a pilgrimage, and how that by presenting them in a very funny manner, that Chaucer has made fun of the people of society, the sophisticated and fashionable people of the society, and how that he even makes fun of the people connected with church. So when we laugh at such people, that we don't feel guilty, because we know that these are imaginary characters. When we laugh at the nun of Chaucer in Chaucer's Prologue to Canterbury Tales, we don't feel guilty. So this is what the purpose of comedy, and this is what we mean by comedy, that it's not always a comic drama. It can be a comic poem, as I said, Chaucer's Prologue to Canterbury Tales, and not only that, it can be a comic novel, and we have many comic novels also. So instead of comic dramas only, because that, so far as dramas are concerned, we have a series of comedies written by Shakespeare, and so it's very easy to understand the term comedy in context to drama. But it is very necessary that we understand the term comedy in context to even poetry and even novels. So the things that we studied today are, first thing, we talked about what is comedy, we talked about the definition of comedy, the characteristics of comedy, then we talked about the philosophy of laughter, beginning with Roman dramatist Terence and his drama Hecuba, and talking about why do we laugh at all. Then we talked about the origin of comedy. In that context, we discussed mystery and miracle plays. We discussed those four practically running cycles: Chester, Coventry, York and Wakefield. And then even we talked about the three comic characters of mystery and miracle plays. So this is how I conclude my topic on comedy. And next time when we'll meet, we'll talk about the types of comedy, because as I said, the term comedy is divided into 5 types of comedy. We'll discuss this later. Thank you.